Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conquest, where today we are researching Vesmonium. So the sector of the day is Defringe. An old production complex lies here, idle for thousands of years. Kickstart its self-repairing capabilities, utilize Vesmonium for defense. Do not be fooled by the large wave spacing, this is a key site of enemy interest. Utilize old dead constructs left after each failed attempt to secure a foothold. Defeat the powerful guardian that is protecting this sector. Very interesting. So if I had to guess, we're probably going to be fighting a tier 5 guardian at the very end of this sector. So I guess there's no point waiting around. Let's get to it. Okay, we are off to a very interesting start. There is not a lot of, well, anything here. I just have a core. It is just a substratum. There's 9 waves total. We have 11 minutes until the first wave. Let's take a look at the map. There's a lot of stuff here.
There is not a lot of, well, anything here.
Okay, so this looks to be a speed run sector, basically. Luckily, we have a lot of starting resources, so that's not going to be an issue at all. Transportation time is probably going to be the major crisis in this sector. We're going to have to deal with that because walking everywhere is going to take forever. We got a huge sand biome up here with lots of water, lots of lignite available. There's probably some lignite around here somewhere as well. Yep, we got some in the corners over here. Perfect. Got an obsidian biome. We can definitely get, well, we can probably get way more than just 3 geode crackers out of this. We can probably get like 6 maybe. Plus, we also have slag here, which we could cool down in the obsidian cooling molds that I think I've used one other time because I didn't have access to it last sector. We've also got a barite biome up here, and that actually goes pretty far. But before we do that, let's look over here. We got a nice red sand biome. Plenty of red sand to go around, so that's good. We can make some creatite if we need to. Continuing on here, we got another desert, back into a normal biome, and then up here to a red sand and barite, which is where I would assume the enemies are going to come from. So if I had to guess, the best way to wall it off is probably build a wall here, build a wall here, build a wall here. Mostly prioritizing this up here. I think that was going to be the best option because we have all the resources we need over in this area. Let's go ahead and take a look at the research tree because we probably have something unlocked real quick. Yes, we do. Right here. This is probably the Vesmonium Accultor. I don't know. Creates Vesmonium using barite and lignite. Requires power and pressure. Works better on barite tiles. 900% affinity on barite tiles. Unfortunately, it looks like this is extremely expensive. 2.4 barite and 2.4 lignite per second. That's a lot. That is quite a bit. Plus 240 power per second as well. That's going to be interesting. We will wait a second to research that because I do not want to use the resources that I have available right now because if I hit research, it's probably going to take away all of my dematite and that's going to be a long day. So instead, let's go ahead and grab some resources real quick. Just the basic stuff, obviously, and then we can research that later into this sector. But hey, first, let's grab our basic resources. Okay, we are back. I may or may not have just kind of locked in right there, didn't say a word for like, I don't know, 7 minutes, and we now have a pretty decent amount of resources. So, I mean, we can just go quickly run over everything I did. We got a lot of Fahrenheit off the rip because I knew we were going to need a lot of it, eventually replacing some of the crushers with some of the mining units with the crushers to get even more production. We got a solid lodestone mixer over here. This is making 4 per second. And we also have a nice lithium grinder also making 4 per second. And we also went ahead and installed some obsidian, the standard 3 geode cracker setup right there. I am going to eventually set up some abrasion quarries or maybe even discharge quarries just so we can make more obsidian, but that will be later. We are going to need to get power from somewhere, and that will probably be in the form of creatite because we just have so much of the stuff down here. Also went ahead and used this lignite up here to make, I think this is like a little under 600 power, which goes all the way over here into a barite quern to make some initial barite. So that's currently where we are. There's about 3.5 minutes left until the first wave gets here, and I am getting slightly concerned. So I think what I might go do, I might just go over here. Ooh, there's a core tile right here. That's probably going to be extremely useful. Okay, well, I'm probably going to head over to here, and we're going to make a huge, well, I guess not really huge, more of just like a temporary lignite singe defense up here, just because I don't really want to die to whatever is about to show up. Honestly, this reminds me a lot of Desolate Rift, and Desolate Rift will give you one easy wave, and then right after that, it will literally destroy you off the face of the planet. So I figured we probably should get up a defense real quick. Also, another thing to mention, I did see that the V8 betas are starting to release.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
I believe the first one released, I think, yesterday as of recording this, and that just involves all of the new Serpolo changes, maps. There's new maps, there's new sector icons, there's some new world processing stuff. I'm not really sure about world processors. I've never seen them or used them, but V8 betas are starting to come out. So I'm thinking the plan is going to be probably wait until like real V8 is out, and then we'll figure out what to do. I would like to complete Asthosus, but I really doubt that I'm going to be able to do the entire rest of this mod before V8 comes out, so honestly, we're just going to play it by ear, wait until it comes out, and then see what's going on. But for the meantime, we are going to continue with Asthosus because it is pretty fun, and I'm having a great time playing it. Alright, that looks like a pretty good defense. I probably should not throw in this many walls, but I'm going to anyway, and then we can chuck up some routers and some singes, and then maybe we can find a nice place to put some power. Maybe we can do a couple vent pressure rigs. Yeah, it looks like we got 2 over here, and then we can just throw down a couple pressure turbines, and then we can have enough for like 3 menders. I would just like to have a defense that can hold up maybe even a couple waves, but that's still better than, you know, dying off rip, you know? And the problem this sector is, I was gonna say it was lithium because we were running out of lithium in the beginning there, but it looks like that has switched over to lignite. So I think the next thing we're going to do after we get this defense put in place is we're going to upgrade to lodestone crushers, or the big lodestone basins. Yeah, that's what they are. We're going to upgrade to 3 of these. I think 3 is probably a good amount. I would like to, you know, leave this area and come back, but if I do, then I'm going to have to walk. And it already took like, I don't know, 30 seconds to walk here, so I figured we may as well just stick it out and get all this built, and then we can go back. Okay, so that looks to be a good defense going. We've got menders and everything. We're going to consider that good enough for probably wave 1, and we need to focus on infrastructure again. So, lodestone basins. Do I have enough area over here to put down 3 crushers? Boom, boom, boom. That I do. I am not going to tear this out first because that was the mistake that I made last time. Instead, we're going to build the actual things and then do that. Now, the real question is that sand compactor thing was actually really useful when I used it last sector because it significantly reduced the amount of hardened sand that I needed. So I think we might use this again. We only need 3 pressure, and there's a nice pressure thing right here. Oh, I just realized something. Solar heater panels are banned here. That's extremely annoying. Well, luckily I hadn't used any yet, but that's annoying. We're gonna have to deal with that. All right, let's just try to get this all set up here. So I'm thinking, I've seen this a lot in other schematics, mostly the huge red sand filter thing that I stole last time. We can just put some pipeline sorters down, and we can only let sand go through. Where is sand? Oh, it's right. Oh my god, it's literally the first thing. Okay, anyways, we can let sand go through. We can put this like this, and then that can go straight into our sand compactor right here, which will then get cycled straight back into this setup right here. And another thing I've noticed, the enemies are in fact here. I didn't actually get to see what they were because I wasn't paying attention. So it looks like it was probably some small things. Then we got some tier 2 tanks here, Trigons. Yep, those got smoked instantly. So we got 4.5 minutes to get this up and running. We really need to get this going. Honestly, building lodestone basins is probably the worst thing, mostly because you never have enough lodestone to build them, so when you're trying to build it, it takes forever. Happens all the time, super annoying, whatever. And unfortunately, we're going to have to run a very large lodestone pipeline all the way down, around, over, and into here, which is extremely annoying because that's going to be very resource intensive. But once this is done, I should be able to just plug all of this in directly, and that would be good. I'm fairly certain this is actually making 4, so we really could just like do this, and that quite literally would turn this on, I believe. All we have to do is reroute the sand as well, and that is going to be going in like this. That will take... Actually, I don't know which one takes priority, but I guess I don't really care that much. Okay, well, there we go. That should be kicking into gear. This is on. Let's build this higher here to burn off all of the excess overflow sand, because if this gets backed up, that's obviously going to be a problem, but this should be actually cooking now. There we go. Nice. Okay, well, there we go. Obsidian, lodestone, whatever this stupid stuff is, has been upgraded. That should hopefully start picking up here. Can also tear out some of this old stuff that we don't need anymore. There we go. Let's also tear this all out. This will shut off production for just a second, but all we need to do is put in our drills. Okay, there we go. That is now fully upgraded, and we should have nothing to worry about. Let me go ahead and replace this line right here real quick, and that is done and dusted. Okay, next step. Let's check what we don't have a lot of. We are now making a whole bunch of lodestone, so that's not going to be an issue. Let me just make sure that this is actually working as intended. We're good. We're making basically everything we need. Barite is currently the one we're making the least of, as well as lithium, but I honestly don't really have much time to deal with that. So we probably should go upgrade barite next, or maybe get a big power schematic going. Do I have enough to build this thing? Because this is 1500 power, and that's actually really nice. And another thing I just realized, we have diffusion reactors. I've never built one of these, but you just input nitrogen and tetrafluoride and like a lot of heat, but you get 2100 power out of it. So if we can figure out a way to get 30 heat, that would be pretty good. And I'm fairly certain there is some Cretite thing that just like burns Cretite and gets you a stupid amount of heat. This will get 36 heat, and it only takes 90 power, but it takes a third Cretite a second? That's nothing, dude. Hang on a minute. Should we set that up instead? Diffusion I mean, we're obviously going to need Chromium first, but wow, okay, you know what? That's quite a bit. Quit yapping, whatever, that's fine. We cannot make the big solar panel power schematic, which is unfortunate. Yeah, we can't make this because it's banned, so that sucks. So we probably are just going to go with a Cretite power. Now, can I actually build this? I do not have the lodestone. Maybe I should just get started building this and then get everything into gear. And then once we, have everything, we can put this down, plug it in, and then we'll have power for days. That'll be enough to get a whole bunch of barite, which is kind of what I want to get. So, you know what? Let's just do that. Let's place this right up here. These are the two inputs, and water goes into here. Okay, there we go. 2 geothermal accumulators. Now we need 8 hardened sand, which goes in right there. That's going to be slightly unfortunate because we are just going to have to straight up mine that, but that's fine. And the next wave is here, and the Guardian is approaching in 5 waves. So at wave 9. Okay. Oh my god. Crazy town, crazy town. What are we dealing with here? The Singes should be able to take that out no problem. These are all turned on. Very nice. I need to figure out where the lignite goes now. And of course, we are going to need water. I did forget about that. And honestly, let's just connect all of the water into the same line here, and then we can just split it off, because that should be enough for basically everything. We shouldn't have to worry about any of this at all. And then we can just reroute this water straight into wherever this goes. That is the direction of this, and that means right there. And there we go. That should just about do it. And that connects into there. I think that should be just fine. Water's going in there. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's getting generated. We are generating power from here. That is good 1500, and now we are going to do the very long and laborious process of connecting this to the other side, which actually is not going to be that bad because I can just plug it into that cable right there. So let's go grab some more barite, because barite is the greatest resource ever made. But another thing we can also do, we have radiation reactors available to us now, which is probably what we're going to be using to power the defense over here, which, now that I'm thinking about it, if there's going to be a really big dude at the end of this sector, we may just want to do like the thickest wall you've ever seen right here. That actually sounds kind of fun. So I think let's do that. But let's get more other resources first, because that is kind of what we need, right? Each one of these will make exactly 6, which is exactly what you put into a barite quern. And that'll give us additional 6 barite per second, which is actually pretty impressive. And we can pump that into that line right there. So we are going to have to upgrade the entire rest of this line though. I can do that later. Let's just get this going now, get power connected, get everything going. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. That is making a bunch of extra barite, and let's go ahead and get this reconnected and upgraded as well, and then that will be a bunch of extra barite into the core. We'll never have to worry about that again. Perfect. Next stop, Chromium, and probably more obsidian for that matter. Now another thing, I only put down 900 power per second worth of barite drills, and this thing makes 1500. That is because I want to use some discharge cores to make obsidians. This is probably enough for 9 of these. Honestly, I have no idea, but let's just go for it. What is the worst that could happen? I'm going to use a sneaky little strategy that I just thought up of. If I put a distributor right here, and we have 2 inputs and 2 outputs, it'll get evenly split all between these, and then hopefully this will actually be enough to go through, but honestly, at this point, not a clue. Anyways, let's get all of the vents into place here. We should need exactly 3 to fill all this. Is there even going to be enough throughput for this? Honestly, at this point, don't really care, but that's fine. right. Yeah, it turns out my mic was muted for a second there. That was that's annoying. I'm gonna have to voice that over or talk it over. And you know what? Talk it over is a lot easier. Okay, so over here we got this built up all the way. We decided that the pipelines here can support 12 obsidian per second, which is what this is actually generating. We never actually plugged this in. I just realized that. So hey, you know what? Good thing I talked this over. Otherwise, this literally never would have worked. We're making obsidian in here. Half of it is going to go into a corrosium infuser. We are running 3 of them. That is taking half of our obsidian generation. Actually, not even. It's 1.33. So that's like 4.5. That's not even too bad. So that's only going to take 4.5 out of the 12 we're making. Obviously, this takes purified water, pressure, and obsidian. And the pressure, we determined that we are going to have to use a Cretite Etna with Cretite because we do not have access to the solar heater panels to make pressure like that. We're going to set it up like this, and that is currently what I'm in the process of doing. Also, I had to put down this Instaro that you saw to take care of the one Aprotodon that got through and did destroy the defense over here. We have 3 minutes to get this corrosium up, which is what I'm currently working on, and then we can go over there and get the defense built up, probably with barite as ammo. But I would like to get corrosium going first. I think I can do it in that time, but honestly, I don't know. Okay, we're going to need some lignite now. I don't think we actually have enough lignite literally anywhere. We might just want to decommission this power up here, or maybe even just cut off half of it. All right, so that should be our Cretite Etna and pressure. Now, obviously, this is going to make a little bit more pressure than I need. This makes 18. One of these takes 12. So actually, we could have run this off of 4 vents, which probably would have been a lot better because there's literally just 4 vents just in this area. Oh, well, that's fine. This is more interesting anyways. Okay, and now we are going to need 1 pump worth of purified oasis water over here, so we're going to need more lignite, so we are going to actually decommission this power after all, so we can run more pumps. Ooh, I ran that right next to something that it shouldn't be ran next to. That's extremely annoying, and now we're going to have to deconstruct the whole thing. But anyways, I was about to say, corrosium should be good to go until I ran the water right next to decompression extractors, which was kind of stupid. Connect this up, and corrosium should be good to go, and going into the core as well, because we already plugged it in to the thing over here. Now, why is this not working? That needs power. Forgot about that. That should be an easy fix. We have power literally right here. Boom, boom, boom. Connect that up. This turns on. Pressure goes into here. Corrosium starts getting generated. This also needs power. Dang it, 150. That should be enough. Do we even have enough power now? I didn't think that through either. Oh, rats. We may not have enough. We may not have enough. Oh, no. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, there we go. Let's just connect everything. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. Boom, we're getting corrosium, and that's going into the core. Okay. We do not have obsidian connected to power either, so we're going to have to go do that right now, which is really annoying. Do we even have enough power to output all of this? Not a clue. We have 1:18 to get over to the defense and to rebuild it. Oh my god. Yeah, we're cooked. Power. Do we have all of them connected? We do. That's good enough. I don't care. Obsidian. Okay, now we're going to reroute some barite. We're going to use it to make barite turrets because barite is a great ammo source for literally everything. Can we put it into this? No. Can we put it into this? No. Put it into this? Oh, okay, well, it looks like it's going to be Instaro, Syntakes, and Ascendrit again. But that's perfectly fine by me because that is fine. I don't care, whatever. Are we going to take a underflow controller? Yes, because we want all the barite to go to ammo first because we would rather survive than be able to build things. And I think a good idea just to make sure we have enough power is to plug in some radiation reactors on these 2 vents right here, connect them to power, and call it a day. Ooh, these do take a little bit. Oh, we're wasting time. This is bad. Oh my god. This is starting to get stressful. This is a problem. Let me plug in a network terminal, make sure we're doing fine on power. No, we're not. Okay. More radiation reactors. I don't even care. Literally don't care. 16 seconds. Oh, we're cooked. Okay, yep, we're fine on power now. Good. Get the barite down here. We're going to build a Ascendrit. I literally don't even care. I'm just going to put them over here. Yeah, it's fine. You know what? There's only one way to go, so hope you like walking this way, right? There's only one way to go. Yeah, this is a bottleneck. Everything down there is going to get destroyed. I really don't care. I don't have time to care. 3 Instaro. Just the one. Router goes down to here. Ascendrit like this, and then like that. Okay, 9 enemies. That's not horrible. Hopefully they're not super strong. I'm panicking. It's fine. Everything is okay. Stop building those 2. Let's just get this in place first. What are we actually dealing with here? Okay, it's just the tier 3 mech dudes, which are Apex. Okay, that's not actually too bad. I think we can handle this. Oh my god, that was stressful. But hey, we're getting corrosium now, so that's good. Now, we do want to put in the big turrets that do well against single target. I think that's Typhoon. Less efficient against swarms, specialized at dealing with single enemies. Yeah, we're probably going to be using a Typhoon. Probably loading it up with lithium because that's probably what we can make the most of. Oh, wait, we can make the big lithium compactor now. We're going to need more lignite plus heat, but that's actually not too bad. 6 heat is actually rather annoying. We're going to use more lignite, I think, just to get all that heat. We're going to use a lignite heater. Man, it's been so long since I've used one of those. I don't even know where it is. Lignite burner, yeah, that makes 3 heat, so we only need 2 lignite. Yeah, we're just going to need a lot more lignite, but that should be fine. Yeah, nothing's going to get through that, at least for like a wave or 2. Okay, so we have a little bit of leeway now. We got chromium, we got everything. It might be time to get vesmonium. What does this take? Barite and lignite? Unfortunately, we're almost out of lignite. 2.4 barite plus a bunch of liquid barite. I don't know if I have time to set that up. Let's just get it in research. That's fine. We can build that later. Not right now because we're panicking. We are in panic mode. Everything is going wrong. Okay, lithium upgrade. Let's do it. There we go. That should be able to make all of the lithium we will ever need, and that will be an absurd amount. I think, what do these actually output? 4. So this is now 8 per second as opposed to the 4. So we basically just doubled our production, which is always good to do. Okay, there we go. That is now done. Everything is fine. All these resources are coming in. We probably will want to upgrade our barite, but we might just want to go grab some vesmonium now because we can. Fortunately, the barite line is getting pretty full, so it's not like we can dump it into there, but I don't know how much we're going to even make. Anyway, what do we even need for this? Barite and lignite? Where are we going to get lignite from? I literally don't think there's any left to use. Well, that sucks. We got some up here, though. We'll just have to build our big defense. You know what? It might be time to build a defense. Even getting the walls into place would be a good idea. And we can use chromium walls too. Defend. Oh yeah, right, because we can... Yeah, these will go on the back and then the barite goes on the front. Okay, you know what? I think it's wall building time. Now the real question, what kind of turrets am I going to use? Probably going to do what I did in whatever sector it was that we got. Chromium, barite, Ascendrit, barite Instaro, barite Syntax, and then we had Typhoon shooting lithium, I believe, all throughout the back of the wall, and that did a pretty good job of holding up against tier 5s. So that's probably what we're going to end up doing. But let's just get the basic wall in first, which is going to go right here. And luckily, I believe this is intended to be the place where the wall goes because there is a complete lack of trees. So that's got to mean something, right? Wow, that is a thick wall. Hopefully the enemies don't like destroy the entire thing once they get here. That's why I kind of want to build all the barite first because... if it gets destroyed, oh well, I don't care. Okay, let's also get the menders in place. You know, a smart thing to do would actually be to build a support unit factory to, you know, help build. Yeah, I think that's gonna take too long though. By the time I have that set up, it would have been faster for me to just build everything. Even just setting up some basic turrets up here, I think, and then doing it, that would even be helpful. Maybe we'll end up doing that. Anyways, let's get the rest of this wall built. And also, these will have some nice radiation damage. It's not much, but it's a tiny bit, and it'll slow them down. Now, let me see if I can get my unit to build this. 2 waves to go. Wait, so is it at 8? Oh, dear. Oh, and that's a tier 4. Oh, I don't even know what that's called either. Aphalops. We got an Aphalops inbound. Okay, well, hopefully it doesn't just sit here and destroy the wall. They might. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is okay. It's as long as they get through, then I can start building a Ascendrit. I could also start torching off their... Okay, never mind. I'm dead. Well, hopefully the wall will hold up. I honestly don't know if it will now. I also should probably start building some vaults over here, which is actually what I'm going to do right now while I'm over here. Yep, 5 vaults. That'll do just fine. Now, are they just sitting there destroying the wall? No, they are pushing up. Okay, and the tier 4 Aphalops went in first. It should die pretty quickly. Uh-oh. 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 How is that thing not dead? What? I have underprepared, and that's a problem. Bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news. Hopefully this can get built before they get here. Looks like not. Oh, it's gonna be really close. It's gonna be really close. Okay, we got it, we got it. Instaro down. Hopefully that can do a little bit of damage. Oh my god, this is so bad. All right, single target. Typhoon? Yep, and you're going right on the chromium. Okay, this is bad. Yeah, this is actually very bad. That thing is, not even, like, half. Oh no, it's flashing pretty bad. It's gotta be low. It's gotta be low, it's gotta be low. Okay, we do have a Typhoon. I'm gonna build another one. Okay, as long as I try to get them distracted to not blow up as much stuff as possible, which that's not working, we should be fine to rebuild. Assuming these Typhoon actually are, like, good at their job. I literally just killed it with my core unit. Okay, so this isn't going to be too bad. We just got to get rid of these guys. There's 2 left. They're just going to die to the Typhoon. Yep, no problem there. Now we have to rebuild everything and the wall. That's fine. That's actually okay. We have a lot of resources. Recovering should not actually be too bad. We just got to make sure everything's rebuilt. That's going to take a long time to rebuild, which is the unfortunate part of this whole matter, but we didn't lose a lot. Okay, I'm doing a slight miscalculation here by deconstructing this. We are going to just hope that the wall that I have over here can actually withstand against this next wave. If not, we're just kind of cooked. But I mean, to be honest, I think we're going to be kind of cooked anyways, so that's fine. Let's just run it down to there, and that'll be good enough. And then we're just going to focus on building turrets the entire time over here. Mainly Ascendrit because they're so good. Okay, the Guardian is in 1 wave. We have a... Oh, God, that's not good. I don't know if all these Ascendrit can actually hold up against this. Ooh, I'm not sure. I am not sure at all. We're going to keep building, and we're going to keep hoping. And honestly, I might just want to throw in some extra walls, even just here. Yeah, just some temporary ones. Let's do that. Oh, my God. Yeah, we're really not looking so good right now. We do not have a lot of time to build the defense. Luckily, these are really slow. So I should have enough time to build more turrets. Oh, God. Okay. Wall that off over there, you know? Like, I don't want to deal with that. Nope, let's not go that way. Let's go down. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. And looks like that thing is getting smoked because it is going around the wall, which is great. We did destroy one of them, but I think there's just too many. Perfect. Okay, we're good. Rebuild. Let's get the Crosium in place, let's get power in place, and then we should be good. Holy, dude. Okay, power. We do need to get power over here pretty much, like, very, very quickly, aka literally right now. So let's do that with this, whatever this stuff is, Lignite. Yeah, I'm gonna throw down my Lignite power schematic. I don't know how much we can get, probably like 2 or 3 of these worth, so I'm just gonna throw down 2 for now, because I don't have the time to think about it. And while that's happening, we can plan out the rest of the wall. I think I spent too long on infrastructure, which doesn't even make sense, because we have a lot of resources, but we're just still getting smoked. And looks like the majority of our barite is still going into the ammo boxes, which is good, because I want that to happen, because we need ammo, but we do need some to the core because we're kind of running out. We have 600 left. Okay, Crosium is going in next, which is good because that's where power is going to go. I'm just going to hook up everything that isn't connected to Crosium like that. I don't know if this amount of Sendrit's going to even be able to do this. We have 2 minutes to build all this. Yeesh, man. Now, unfortunately, we do not really have anything that we can ammo up Typhoons with available over here, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, what are you going to do? There's really not... Yeah, there's nothing I could do over here to ammo Typhoons unless I run a huge, like, line all the way from over here somewhere, which I don't think that's just going to be viable right now. So we're just going to stick with Barite Ascendrit and just hope that they are capable. The enemy wave's about to get here, and this is the big Guardian, and I don't think we're going to be able to kill this thing. That is not good. That's really not good. Okay. What is it? Oh! That's just a tier 4. Well, that's not too bad. What is that? 2 Aphalops? Let's go. And, what is that one called? A Quant. That's actually not bad. We can take that out. Okay, I thought it was going to be a tier 5, bro. You got me freaked out for no reason. Jeez. I'm going to still keep building. I'm not going to back down. If there's a tier 5 Guardian, it's going to be next wave. And, yeah, we're not going to stop building turrets. That's basically the entire job now. Make sure we don't die. Please go down, not up. Oh, they really want to go through the wall there. Luckily, they decided against it. Thank God. Guardian's getting obliterated. Ammo isn't even getting into there because we don't have the throughput for it, and it is down. Now there's just 2 to Quant. Those should go down quick as well. And that they did. Okay, perfect. Now, another thing that I kind of want to do, I might want to make Crosium belts distribute the ammo instead, because that might be faster. I don't know how well it's going to work, because it is going to take a while to fill up, but to be fair, we do have a lot of time, so let's try that out, yeah. We are now completely out of barite, because most of it, or I guess all of it, is going into ammo right now. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Most of it's going to be sitting on this line here, so these essentially will never be out of ammo, which is pretty good. So with that being said, there is space in there to get water. And we're just going to water cool those because why not, right? Honestly, we could water cool a lot of the defense. And actually, we probably should because we're getting a decent amount. We can put some tanks down if we need to. Actually, let's just do it. And then we will have plenty of cooling to go around. Yeah, these are filling up fast. Wow, that's a lot of water. Okay, well, that's not going to be an issue then. Yeah, so these 2 at the front, unfortunately, won't have water. I don't think I can get anything into there, but all the other ones do, which is nice. Let's also get these Instaros cooled as well, because we might as well. I'm hoping this Crosium belt thing actually works. I didn't test it. I would assume it does, but I'm not sure. Okay, and I knew there's going to be a boss here. What is it? Oh my god, it is the tier 5 mech and the tier 5 air guy. Okay, well, we're cooked. They're already here. They are already here. Looks like this does work, though. That's good. Oh, no. We are dead. We are dead. We are most definitely BE to the AD dead. Oh, no. We're out of obsidian. We can't build any more turrets. We're just going to have to hope that this is enough. And it's already torn a hole in the wall that is so bad that I'm going to have to fix it on this side. Oh my god. This is horrible. This is bad. 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 This guy's going to break through. We need to put more walls on this side to make sure that that doesn't happen. My core unit's dead. Okay, well, we're just going to have to hope that this holds. Oh god. I think that's actually a tier 4. Nope, is that a tier 5? Is that a tier 4? I actually can't tell. Ah, no, that's the tier 4. The tier 5 hasn't even got there yet.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Let's see, how's the defense holding up? Horrendously, and I can't get over there in time, so that's just going to have to hold. It's going to break through there and we're dead. That's what's going to happen. Yep, that's exactly what happened. It's going to walk right there. Yep, and that is out of range of everything. Okay. We're dead. What are we going to do about that? Well, we are going to just prepare over here. It's going to get to the core, and we need to be ready. So I'm just going to... We don't have barite. Okay, I'm going to go instantly cut off the barite ammo line over there, and then it's going to go all into the core. That's what's going to happen. We're going to respawn at the core the second that's done, and we're going to build Typhoon. We're just going to build a bunch of Typhoon. We're going to ammo them up with Crosium because we can. Barite is going to the core. We are going to do this. Essentially, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. Yep, this is what we're going to do. And if we die, we die. It was a good run. We made it to wave 9, and so be it. I'm also disconnecting basically every single resource to the core so we can build walls around it. The good thing about this is this guy's slow. He's already right there. It's full health, but that gives us a lot of time to prepare, which is good because we desperately need it. Luckily, we've got these Typhoon here, but I don't know how well this is going to actually work. I'm just going to start chucking in these. I am going to start surrounding the core, though, because that's really the thing that needs to be defended. Yeah, the core is kind of the most important thing right now, and that is what we're going to focus on. We probably should get a Crosium ammo bank. Why can we not build a heavy unloader? Obsidian. There we go. Okay, so Crosium's going to start going into there. And we're going to cut it off going into the core. I don't want it going into the core anymore. I want it backing up and making sure we have ammo for all of this. We're out of barite. Oh my god, let's just cancel the build plan and fill this in with whatever we can. I think our barite got destroyed. Yep, it did. Okay, so we're out of barite. We can no longer build barite. So let's just chop this all out. And we'll start using Crosium instead. And we probably need to defend the ammo capsule pretty bad. This needs to be #1 defense because it's actually pretty close to where the... guy's gonna be? Yeah, I'm also going to try to distract it by running around in circles, as I always do. Let's get that one built next, and then we can start building more core defense. Again, yep, gonna try to distract it by running in circles around it. I don't know if it's gonna work. At this point, I don't really have the time to care if it does or not. We just have to kind of build this, and hopefully it'll get into range of the Typhoon without it blowing anything up. As long as I get this last wall built, I'm going to go start running around it and hope for the best here. Luckily, it turns really slow, so I think I can just do this. Oh my god. Can't see me, can't touch this, can't touch this. Oh no, don't, nope, 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 don't shoot. Woo. Go, 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 go. Turn around, turn around. Oh no, nope, other way, other way, other way. Nope, stop shooting. Oh my god, die, die, die. Oh, these Typhoons are actually clutch. Come on, come on, come on. Whew. Oh my god! That has got to be the closest sector I have ever done on this planet. Sector captured. Barely. Oh my god, let's just go take a look. Yep. There do not be much left. There do not be much left of my defense. It literally got to here. That's insane. Okay, well, sector captured, I guess. That's surprising. But it looks like we did get some new stuff on the planet. Oasis Delta. Preceptium, and that's where we came from, Defringe. Okay, well, we got 2 new sectors, and we also got a lore page. So let's go to the lore page, because I want to read that. A few hundred years went by. Asthosus and Drakkar were still thriving. Most of the people who witnessed the incident had already died of old age or other causes. Because of the Arumis gaining power, the outpost on Drakkar was abandoned, rendering the force projector that had been protecting Asthosus no longer functional. Oof. And the event, I believe, was the event that happened on Detriment Valley, which was... a solar flare that knocked everything out, which saved them, but then it looks like a few hundred years went by, everyone forgot that they needed that, and that's kind of going to be problematic. Interesting. Okay, well, cool. I think we're not going to end the episode right now. Instead, I'm going to rebuild everything, going to get everything back into gear, and then I think we are going to build some Vesmonium here and research everything that goes along with it, because we haven't built it yet, and it is kind of interesting. And now that we have access to a whole bunch more resources, because obviously this sector is not going to get attacked again, we can set up a huge Vesmonium factory and hopefully get a whole bunch of that. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and rebuild everything. There we go. Everything is rebuilt, well, minus the defense. But we're going to actually tear that down because we no longer need to defend this place. We just need exclusively resource production. And I also built another core over here so I can respawn over here instead of all the way over here, which is what I should have done earlier, but that's okay. Anyways, everything should be back into gear. I guess we can also cut out that ammo box. We no longer need that. Now, since we are going to be tearing down a lot of things and building a lot of buildings, I think it might be a good idea to assemble some helper units. You know what, let's just stick with luminaries. They're kind of slow to move, but that's okay. And since they're cheap to build, it's not going to be too bad. I can literally just draw resources in from the core. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to build some luminary. And since I don't want to sit around and wait for units to build up, I think I'm just going to speed up the time here once we actually have this connected so we can get a whole bunch of units to start building. All right, well, I have this ready to go. Now, another thing we need to do is get power. Now, I'm thinking, we've got one of these running. A Crete-type mixer makes half a Crete-type per second, and we are probably getting more than enough resources over here to make another one. So I'm going to make another Crete-type mixer over here. Once this is kicked into gear, what is going to happen is we're going to send it into another Etna, and we are going to make a diffusion reactor to power this, mostly because I'm interested in what it actually looks like and does. There we go. 2,100 additional power straight onto the system. And that is very nice. And I do like the animation. It's pretty cool too because this side is like actually getting heated because that's where the heat's coming from. Huge fan of this. 2,100 additional power is very nice. And let's just look at our network terminal here. We are up 2,000. So we can go ahead and connect to this power system all the way down to the little unit factory down here that I set up. Yeah, literally all of that just to power like a maybe 300 power per second unit factory. A little bit overkill, but that's okay. There we go. Now let's go ahead and set the output to go over here. And since we have space to build 32 of these, and I don't really want to sit around, let's just kind of knock this up to 4x speed, maybe even a little faster, and then we'll get this going. Now, why is this not working? Is that actually small lithium walls? Wow, it is small lithium walls. Okay, well, let's crank that up and let's get some units going. All right, well, that took a while. Now, let's go build some Vesmonium. We are going to put it on barite because that makes sense. 2.4 barite per second, 2.4 lignite per second, 9 pressure, and 12 liquid barite. Gives us a lot of Vesmonium. Lignite we need down here, and we are going to be using some big quarries because we have the power, we've got 2,000 available, let's go ahead and use it. All right, now oddly enough, the only liquid barite that I can actually find is like over in this corner. I think there's some over here, yeah there is, but let's just use it over here because we're already making a bunch of barite over here anyways. Let's see, since we have all the additional power, we can probably just use the small pumps. I don't really want to use lignite to get the big pumps going because that's just going to be detrimental. Yeah, that's probably fine. So that's where all of these are going to go. Now I'm going to make a tileable schematic because we might as well, right? I honestly have no idea how many of these I'm going to be running most of the time. I don't know. And I think that will be perfectly fine. Now, of course, we are going to have to grab pressure. We're going to need, I think it's actually, how much is it? 9. So that is 1 vent each. So that's going to be interesting. And we also need to go make sure that lignite is working properly. How much do the liquid barite coolers make? 0.66. And that takes oasis water too. You know what? Let's just run more of these. We're going to have to run like 4 because this is taking like 7.2. So we're literally going to have to run 4 of those. Absurd, by the way. And we can also go ahead and tear this wall down now that we have the units here, which is great. Clear up some space. That's always nice. And there we go. We got some additional power from here, which is good because we're going to need this to run those barite things. This is making 1,500. And I actually think we're going to be using literally all of it just to make barite to make Vesmonium. All right. And once we build this, we should now get our Vesmonium. That turned on. And there we have it. New content unlocked, Vesmonium in 2 sectors. Furnace Settlement and Abandoned Research Center. Interesting. I did not expect to get new sectors from that. But hey, there we go. We have Vesmonium and we are making a grand total of who knows. This makes 1.2, but we have 225% additional efficiency, so I guess I could literally just run this into the core as well as the overflow of the barite, because that will overflow eventually, and we'll run this down to the core over here, because we are yet to put anything into here. so we might as well. Now let's go ahead and unlock some research, which is the reason we are still here. What do we got? Projector wall, a wall made from Vesmonium that is capable of emitting a one-time use directional shield. Explodes on destruction, briefly stunning enemies. What? Okay, let's get both of those. I'm curious to see what that actually does. Oh, so these are like shielded walls. And what is this indication? Oh, this is like where the shield goes, I guess? Interesting. Okay, well that's cool. It did say one-time use, which is unfortunate, so it'll probably like break after it's done. Let's go ahead and grab the large projector wall. I do want to build one just to see what they look like. Nice, nice, nice. Unfortunately, I can't have anything shoot at it, so we can't actually test it, like, really, but that's okay. All right, let's keep looking. Got anything new over here? We do. We have a cargo base station. Loads a cargo drone with items to be sent off towards a cargo drop point. And that takes 36 silicon tetrafluoride. That's ridiculous. But we also have the drop-off point, so we can learn both of those. Okay, I doubt I will ever use those unless it is mandated. Probably will be in one of the sectors. We will have to use cargo pods, but 360 power plus all that silicon tetrafluoride is a little bit ridiculous. It does look like the more efficiency you have, the more resources it actually takes per second to craft, so that's slightly annoying, but that's okay. Anyways, we can go ahead and unlock the Trilux now, or Trilux, whatever it's called. I do want to plug this in because that actually looks pretty cool. Let's see what this thing actually can do, and please get over here and help me build this because this is taking forever. Ooh, and it's got little lightning, so this is like Super Shenong the turret. That's pretty cool. All right, what else do we got in here? We have the Progressive Assembler Constituent. This looks to be tier 4 stuff. Let's definitely get that. Fortunately, more Vesmonium. We'll have to wait on that. And it looks like that is just about it, except for new cores. That's extremely expensive. Excellently armored and stores massive amounts of items. Omphalos core. We got a Iota, which is this big dude right here with an additional turret on it. It's got like this thingy. Cool. And we also have the Summit core. Incredibly well armored, able to store vast amounts of things. Allows for more active units. And we've got a Clitel. Interesting. Okay, well, let's wait for more Vesmonium to come in and research all of these. Alrighty, there we go. We did increase the production of lignite and barite, so hopefully now that will increase the production of Vesmonium. And we did get about 2,000 while I was doing all of that, so we should be able to get the most of the research done now. Starting with the Progressive Assembler Constituent. Unfortunately, looks like we cannot get the tier 5 units without getting Dresden, which is something else that I have no idea about. But at least we have the Constituent, which I think we actually needed to be able to build the tier 4s, right? So I guess we now have access to tier 4s. Interesting. I did not... Wait, really? I thought we had access to that. Oh, because these are tier 2s and 3. Oh, I guess... Okay, so we actually can now build tier 4s. We never could initially. Okay, well, there you go. That's cool now. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab the Omphalos core and finish off the episode by unlocking the Summit core. And now we have all of the cores available. And I kind of want to upgrade to one of them. I kind of want to try Summit just to see what this one looks like. I guess we could also upgrade like both of our cores because we might as well, right? Boom! And let's respawn in this thing. That is a centipede, and it looks like it's a wiggler. This thing is moving fast, and I am on normal speed, by the way. This thing do be wiggling. What happens if I increase the speed? We do be wiggling. We do be wiggling. All right, well, that's pretty cool, and it actually has a defense. Let's go ahead and wait a little bit for the majority of our other resources to generate, and then we can go ahead and unlock the Iota as well, just to see what that looks like. Omphalos going down right there, respawn, and there we have this dude. Wow, look at that. Cool. All right, well, there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. We got a lot of stuff done. We actually managed to capture this sector, albeit extremely closely, because the guy got to literally right there. And then we unlocked Vesmonium and got a whole bunch of new research. Next episode, honestly, I might go after Magmatic Riverbed, because we unlocked that before unlocking Vesmonium. So I think we're going to attempt Magmatic Riverbed. Maybe I'll look around and see if any of these other sectors look cool, but more than likely Magmatic Riverbed in the next episode. I've also heard that Magmatic Riverbed is extremely difficult, so wish me luck. I'll probably need it. Goodbye.